Okay, so now I'm working on the tail light lenses, and these are original 69 tail light lenses. I want to try to restore them instead of buying reproductions, and hopefully this is picking up in the camera, but right on this lens especially, you can see there's some scratches right here. I'm going to move it a little bit. Hopefully those scratches are showing in the camera, and they're fairly deep, and the rest of them are just kind of scratched up. Same way with this one. Hopefully you can see it right in here, some fairly deep scratches. And these two lenses had the same type of scratch, and this one I've got it out and I've got it polished. This is after I sanded. Basically what I'm doing is taking 800 grit paper, wet paper, and then I'm working my way to 3000, 1500, 2500, 3000, or wet sandpaper. And then after I get done with that, I'm buffing it, and I'm also using an oscillating buffer. So again, hopefully you're seeing the scratches. They're pretty deep on this one. I'm going to go ahead and wet sand this one, finish this whole lens out, and then I'll show you. The other thing you'll notice, they've got these little polished, I believe they're stainless steel, around the perimeter of the glass. And I've taken these three off, pop those off. They're glued on there, and so there's a lot of glue up inside this channel on the back. You need to clean that out. But to do this right, where you can get up right along the edge and polish it out, the best thing is to take that off. And so I've got these three off. I've got them cleaned up. I'm going to run them through the buffer and get them polished up, and then I'll finish this up and those will get glued back in place. Then I'll do this one. The rest of it is cleaned up already, and it's pretty much ready to go in. So okay, so I've got everything buffed out. I've got the everything blacked out. Still need to do the headlight buckets. I've got those all ready to go. I've got to paint them yet. I hung the fenders on just temporarily. I've got a few bolts across the top just to hold them in place for storing right now. Next, I'm going to move this car over to the other side and start putting the motor and transmission and all the driveline, and working on the interior, get the dash in, the wiring, and so forth before I put the doors on. So I still have to put the latch in back here. Trunk's just sitting there. It's not latched, but it does line up really nice. Got my glass tail lights all polished up, and those are installed. Put the Mustang letters on. Again, the back's all blacked out. Working on, going to be painting the louvers and the spoiler next as well. So move this out, put it over in the other side so we can start doing some assembly. I'll cover everything with bed sheets. Those work really good for covering it. So hood's on there, cowls on there, just kind of roughly lined up right now. So underside all detailed out, ready to drop the motor in. So we'll pop the hood off, take the fenders off after we get it over on the other side. Dylan's working today. He's going to help me get this moved. And we'll pull the Boss 429 over onto this side and start doing some body work on that. Also gives me space here that I can start working on a lot of the miscellaneous parts. I've got interior parts and grills and heater plenum. We'll disassemble that, put all new gaskets, paint everything, put all new gaskets, rebuild everything so it's like brand new. Gauges or dash all needs painted. So move it over to the other side, bring that Boss 429 from in here, and then here's the motor. It's all been rebuilt, ready to go in. Rick Parker, bosscars.com, did that for me. Third members all detailed out, ready to go. Dylan's working on the rear end housing right now. He's going to get it ready to paint. We just moved the car out of the shop, and we're going to put it into the other bay where I've got the lift and get ready to start putting the motor in and doing some final assembly. Currently I've got the hood and the fenders just setting in place. I've got to finish the headlight buckets. They get sprayed black. I'll do that with the rear spoiler and the louvers. The engine bay is all detailed out and ready to go. Bottom of the hood's all done. The blackout on the hood's done. The 1/16 of an inch pinstripe painted on there. That's all done. It's short on the ends like it was supposed to be from the factory. Again, the fenders are just kind of hanging in place. I'm going to pull them back off and pull the hood off when I get it inside, and then I got to put the heater box and the steering column and dash and all the wiring harness and rear panels and a lot of interior stuff, headliner, all those things will have to go in before I put the doors on. That way I don't have to worry about damaging the doors. Plus it gives me a little extra room. Got the spoiler and the rear louvers. Dylan sanded those down to bare aluminum on the louvers and got down to the plastic on the spoiler. And he also sprayed that with epoxy, so it's primed. Do a little body work on them, and then I'll spray that hot rod black matte finish on those parts, along with the headlight buckets, as I said before. My tail lights, I sanded and polished all the glass. Those are original 69 tail lights. Sanded them down, polished them, pulled this perimeter stainless steel off, polished those, and then glued those back in place. I still have to tighten those up. They're just kind of sitting in place right now. Obviously bumper and rear valance, all those parts will go on here soon as well. So all right, the paint is buffed with a medium compound. When I get done, I'll polish it yet. And as I said before, I tried to leave a little bit of orange peel in. In other words, I didn't block this down flat with 1500. I just went over it with 25 with a soft sponge. That way it would not level any orange peel off. I believe, you know, in 69 they would have had quite a bit of orange peel, but for judging purposes, I decided I didn't want to block that down flat. So still looks pretty good. As you can see, still got the original VIN plate on here, never took it off. Matches, everything matches on this car. VIN under here, I showed that earlier pictures, but okay, so I'm gonna push that in and put it on the lift and start with the final assembly. Waiting on some parts. In the meantime, I'm going to work on that Boss 69 Boss 429, so I'll be updating that as well as this as I progress. Thanks for watching.